Morning, everyone. It's Thursday morning, and I just want to say thank you to folks. Been ringing around lots of folks in the congregation, so thank you for your comments and so on. I'm glad that these morning devotions and the Sunday services as well are proving helpful to you, and it's good to be able to do that and to continue to connect with one another. A couple of things just to say. First of all, we are going to start really just announcing any birthdays, like our birthday bucket, from this Sunday. So if there's a birthday that's happened over the last few weeks since we've not been at church, let me know, and we'll mention you on Sunday and pray for you, and keep doing that in the weeks to come. Also to say, if you can send in to me by text message or Facebook Messenger or email any things that you want to say to give thanks for during this time. A number of you have already done that. Thank you for that. If others of you would like to do that, if you can get those in by this evening, Thursday evening, and we'll try and include those in our morning service as well, which we record tomorrow. We are looking at these resurrection appearances, and we're going to look at probably one of my favourites. A lot of people have said, we can so identify with these disciples, doubting Thomas and the two on the road to Emmaus, and all of the different conflicting emotions and feelings that they're experiencing at that time. And lots of us are experiencing all sorts of conflicting emotions and confusion and uncertainty at this time. And maybe that makes it all the more easy for us to identify. But this is perhaps one of my favourite, and because I can identify so much with the character in it. It's from John 21, and the scene is that the disciples have returned to Galilee, and Peter has decided he wants to go fishing, and so the rest of them, or some of the rest of them at least, join him in that. They go out fishing for the night and they catch nothing. And then a figure on the shore tells them to cast their nets out again just as they're coming in at breakfast time. And they take in this incredible haul of 153 fish. And of course that sparks a memory in Peter, who jumps into the lake and swims for shore to find Jesus on the shore already making breakfast for the disciples. And we take up the story after breakfast. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Feed my lambs." Jesus said to him a second time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was grieved because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep. Truly, truly, I say to you, when you were young, you used to dress yourself and walk wherever you wanted. But when you're old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will dress you and carry you where you do not want to go." This he said to show by what kind of death he was to glorify God. And after saying this, he said to him, "Follow me." It's a wonderful encounter. It's a wonderful incident because we know Peter's story. We know what happens in the courtyard the night before Jesus is crucified. We know how Peter denies Jesus and goes out, runs from that courtyard, weeping bitterly. And Peter will never forget that night. Even later on in his letters, we know he has never forgotten that night. But neither would he ever forget this breakfast by the shore and what happened afterwards, because there was the reminder to Peter that Jesus was never ever going to give up on him. Jesus' prayer for Peter the night of his betrayal was that he would be secured, he would be saved, he would be able to return and lead others. And that's exactly what's happening in this passage. Peter is returning. But in order for that to happen, he has to face up to the past. He has to remember the past and the failure, and he has to be almost hurt again just with the depth of what happened that night. And then he has to reopen his heart to Jesus, to declare once again that love for Jesus, that dedication, that devotion to him. And then Jesus invites him to almost to recommit his life to him, to follow Jesus, in the knowledge that his life will take a totally different turn from now on, and that his life will end in a way that he would not have prepared for or expected or necessarily wanted. But knowing all of that in advance, Jesus says to him, Peter, follow me. Follow me to the end. And that's what Peter commits himself to do. And for us, it's the same. We need, in our relationship with Jesus, to be honest about our failures, honest with him, and allow his forgiveness to come into our lives. We need to reopen our hearts and say, yes, I know I've let you down. Yes, I know I've done some terrible things that have brought dishonour on you, but Jesus, you know my heart. You know that I love you, and I want you to work in my life and allow me to serve you. And then recommit your life to him. And in recommitting your life to him, you also recommit your life to his church. Peter is told repeatedly, feed my sheep, take care of my sheep, look after my sheep. And when we commit ourselves to Jesus, we commit ourselves to his church. And when this time of being apart, we find it difficult, because we're not gathering together, so we don't see each other, but we can still be committed to one another. We can still care for one another. And lots of you have been doing that, and thank you for that. Thank you for phoning people. Thank you for offering help. Thank you for dropping stuff around to people. The things that you've been doing, thank you so much for that. Keep doing that, because in our love for Jesus, we also need to show our love for his people. We can't love Jesus and not love the church for which he died. So keep going on that. Keep showing that care. Phone someone today, or text someone today, and just tell them that you're thinking about them. When you go out tonight, if you do this to applaud the care workers, think of the folks in our congregation who are doing that, and maybe send one of them a little message as well. Take care of yourselves. Remember that he will never give up on you, that you're precious to him in every circumstance of life. And God bless you today.